PSA here, and in today's podcast episode, Week 3, Episode 3, I'm going to be talking about the Mariners' continued recent excellent performance as they went 4-2 over the road trip. They are 7-2 in their last 9 games, and they are 9-4 in their last 13 games. I'm excited to get started, and I'm excited to get chatting about it. So the first thing that I want to talk about is I want to do some unfortunate injury-related topics. So Mariners PR. J.P. Crawford was unfortunately transferred to the 10-day injured list. I believe it was retroactive to yesterday. I'm recording on April 25th. Yesterday would be the 24th. So yes, it was retroactive April 2024. And then Gregory Santos was 40-man roster. He is no longer taking up a spot on the 40-man roster. But it was expected that it had gotten to the point where it was clear that he was on a 60-day timeline, and it is able to be retroactive to when he was initially placed on the 10-day injured list. So that would be been like the last day of spring training. Yes. Oh, actually, even before that, I see here retroactive. Yeah, last day of spring training, March 25th. So that means that he is not able to be back until May 24th, I believe. If it's 60 days later, and it's just so his spot on the 40-man roster is no longer being taken up. And in place of J.P. Crawford, Leo Rivas was selected from Tacoma. I'm going to pull up his Fangraphs page. He is kind of, I've seen some like, it's kind of similar skill sets. They're both like older minor leaguers. Leo Rivas is 5'8", 150, switch hitting, right, throws right. He was on the Cincinnati Reds top 45 prospects, according to by Fangraphs 2 years ago. He was batting 308, 422, 462 at AAA Tacoma to start the year in 66 plate appearances for a 125 WRC plus, 16% walk rate, 19% K rate. 2 home runs, and then the year before that, 2023 was his first year in the Mariners organization. I remember him playing in like some spring training games. Slash 255, 511, 347 for 114 WRC plus. Walked 97% of the time, struck out 20. I think that may continue. I would not be surprised if he, posts like an 11% walk rate. I think he'll only be around for like 10 days, hopefully. Oblique issues are scary, so JP could be out for longer, but hopefully he's only out for the minimum of 10 days and can, instantly come back in. JP has also kind of been struggling at the plate, but he was looked like he was kind of turning it around. He had put up like a few solid days, a few straight days of solid plate appearances, so that's, kind of frustrating that just as he was turning the corner, he gets injured. I want to talk about, Brian threw a 5, let me make sure, I believe it was 5 inning. The Las Vegas Aviators, sorry. Las Vegas Aviators in, come on, why was it not showing the minors? So he threw that in Las Vegas, and then I believe it was scoreless. I want to get the exact numbers on it, but 3 innings. Okay, it was not 4 or 5. My fault. He had a few strikeouts, I think. Struck out like 4 batters, I think, or no, 7 batters, or 6, I think. Yeah, 6. He struck out 6 batters, and then so he should be back on time to start, and that was on Saturday. So I think he should be Hancock. This gets into the next topic. Hancock and Kirby ended up throwing both last Saturday because of the doubleheader situation in Colorado due to the snow the night before. And actually, not on Saturday. That would have been Sunday that Hancock and Kirby both threw, I believe. No, wait. So Hancock threw on Saturday. That's right. And then Kirby threw the first game of the doubleheader. No, it was Castillo Saturday night. Hancock, and then okay. I have the timeline now. Castillo threw on Thursday. No, it would have been Saturday. And then Hancock and Kirby both threw on Sunday. That's right. Okay. So it would have been Kirby scheduled to go because he went right out of steel like on opening on the second day of the season. He was scheduled to go right after. Was back. Kirby, I apologize for how confusing this was. Way more confusing than it needed to be. Kirby only went 5 innings in his last start. I believe it was close to 100 pitches. Let me get the exact number. He threw close to 100 pitches, and he was apparently not feeling 100%. Like his shoulder was not feeling great. I think he might have been able to go out for one more inning. And I think he only threw like 90 pitches, but they were just like, okay, because he's not feeling great, we don't want to send him back out there. And he also kind of labored through the outing, still posted a 0. Yeah. So 5 innings, pitched 0 earned, 1 walk, strikeouts. So like, he gave up 6 hits. Player breakdown, there we go. He threw 88 pitches. Okay, so yeah, almost 90 pitches. Obviously, maybe if he were feeling 100%, they probably would have sent him back out for the next inning. Also, his velo was down a whole mile per hour compared to his yearly average, a max velo of 95.7. It also was kind of, it was the morning game, but it was not like it was as cold as it was the day before, where like Castillo, when he's pitching in, like sub-freezing or 33, 34 degree temperatures, it makes sense if his velo is down by like 2 miles an hour. But I believe it was like, mid-60s, like I don't, actually, his velo was down across the board on all his pitches. Actually, for 1.88. Sinker 1.2, knuckle curve a half mile. So like on those 2 fastballs, the mile per hour being over a mile per hour slower, that's a big difference. A whole tick is a really big difference. So it's something to monitor. Hancock was obviously scheduled to go next. Now I believe that they may have pushed Hancock a little bit forward because they also know that he's not going to have that many more turns in the rotation. So that's the starting pitching situation in injury-wise. And then, like I said, they moved Kirby back again, so it's kind of scary that they moved him back an extra day, but it hopefully is just because they know that, Hancock will be able to get some extra time off when he gets up AAA, maybe an extra day or two before his next start. I believe it had started. I thought it had started. I guess it has not. Yeah, it has not. Okay. So Matt Brash has not had his rehab assignment started, but I believe it's going to start soon. Okay, so that's enough for injuries, though. Let's get on to the next topic, which is the next topic that I wanted to mention was Luis Castillo, because he also pitched today. He pitched on last Saturday, was really good both games. Excellent last Saturday. It's Rocky to say what he was really good. Shutout, 7 innings, 1 run. And then today he went 6 innings pitched, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs. Both those runs were earned. It was 2 home runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He kind of labored through it today, but the Mariners needed a really good performance. They needed like a solid performance from their starter. That's what they got today. And yeah, he was, he was not dominant, but it's nonetheless, that 6 innings was very, very valuable to the Mariners today, and that's what's important. Castillo, his peripherals, it's kind of interesting. He had a 2.53 FIP today, 2.7 xFIP, and then 2.85 xERA. That's the big one for me, 2.85 xERA. What about the ERA? 2.7. So the peripherals kind of across the board. After 4.15 ERA, so ERA was at 4.4, now it's down to 4.15. FIP actually went up a decent amount from 2.53 to 3.21. And then xFIP went up from 2.7 to 2.84, so like a minimal increase. So yeah, he had a 6.49 FIP today, which is a definite yikes. That's definitely why the FIP went up so much. But yeah, he Castillo has been pitching well. Those numbers I believe, are going to continue to get more in line. Like that ERA is going to get more in line with those peripherals because he's clearly like, he's not going to have like a 5 ERA. I kind of maybe thought Castillo was going to have some regression this year. Still obviously a good pitcher though, but I knew he was not going to be like in the fives like he was after his first few starts, and like 6. Same as Kirby, who I believe is at like a 5.4 ERA now or something like that. Like that's definitely going to lower. So there we go. Only one win and 4 losses. Still taking the L 4 times. Well, no, actually, did he get the win today? No, he got to win. Okay, 2 and 4. But who cares about pitcher win losses? That's ridiculous. But on the season now, Castillo has 34.2 innings pitched, 30 hits, 17 runs, 16 of them have been earned, 5 home runs, 7 strikeouts, 42 or 7 walks, 2 strikeouts. I mean, let's go down. I'm trying to find the usage. Let me just actually. I kind of prefer. I think Statcast's usage stats are a little bit more accurate. So although it won't be updated for today, but so far this year he's been 49.6% fastball, 23.5% slider, 67% sinker, and 65 or 13% changeup. So yeah, 13% sinker, 13% changeup. Really been majority throwing those 2 fastballs. I'm gonna go to the game log today. He also, I also heard on a broadcast he is, and I've kind of been hoping that this would kind of happen for a while. I really think he could be a huge weapon. Like he's been dominant as a 2-pitch pitcher with those 2 fastballs and then the sinker. Or the slider, I mean. So, like, the 2 types of pitches. But I think if he brought in the changeup, like, that could really be a big deal. He threw it 8 times today. Only got 1 called strike. That's kind of rough. Only got 1 swing on it. Yeah, it's not been, it's not been grading out very well. And hitters are not swinging at it, but the note that was mentioned on the broadcast was that he's been throwing it in long toss to really work on like pulling it down, which I thought was interesting. And I remember when Wu did his Pitching Ninja interview about his grips, that's what he also said. Gave up. It was Davis Wenzel's first MLB hit. Congratulations to him. It was kind of a blooper, not blooper, but like just out of the reach of Arias, who was huge today as well. He had a 2-run home run. But yeah, Gabe Spire threw 10 fastballs today. Got 6 swings, 1 whiff, 3 called strikes. No, two called strikes. I mean, sorry. Threw 8 sinkers, got 3 called strikes. That's great. And then through 5 sliders, got 3 swings. So yeah, Munoz was locked down as well. He only threw 8 pitches, so he'll be available tomorrow. That's great as well. Next, I want to talk about Monday. Logan Gilbert. No, Tuesday. That was Tuesday. Okay. Logan Gilbert was excellent on Tuesday. Julio Rodriguez also got his first home run of the season on Tuesday. It's really great that the Mariners won this series. Just, it feels kind of not reinstills confidence, but, they've been playing like the Rockies are not a great team, but they looked, the winning formula continued against the Rangers this week, which I think is important. So if we go to player breakdowns, and this was going to be actually, I want to look at Gilbert's whole season stats since they are updated. Logan Gilbert. Okay, just want to mention really quick. So in pitching run value overall, Logan Gilbert is in the 100th percentile at +10. Fastball run value, 99th percentile. Breaking run value, 93rd percentile. And off-speed run value, 69th percentile. So, just like, what a year he's having. So if we go xERA of only 3.54, which is I would say a 3.54 xERA is great. Only 59th percentile. If we go to K percentage, 27.8% this year. What was Gilbert's K percentage last year? I definitely don't think it was that high. Last year, up to 20.8% this year. Walk percentage was at 4.7 this year. It's at 6.3% this year, but like minimal increase. And he was at 6.4% in 2022. So like, I think his career norm is going to be like somewhere in between 4.5%, which was last year, and 6.5% or 6.8% or something like that. So that's not like really cause for concern. K minus walk percentage was at 19.9%. It's at 21.4% this year, so it's still up as well. FIP at 3.3. It was at 3.85 last year. xERA last year was at 3.69. It's at 3.52 this year. 1.87 ERA is ridiculous. 0.6 F4. Just across the board, the peripherals back it up. Logan Gilbert has been excellent. If we go to whiff percentage as well, 68%. I think that's kind of an important note. The K percentage is the 76th percentile. That's 27.8. And then the walk percentage is still in the 74th percentile. What was it last year? When it was at 4.7, 95th percentile. Wow, okay. Yeah, so, and I think the walk percentage could easily drop a whole point by season's end. I would not doubt that. At 33 innings pitched through 5 starts, that's really great as well. Slide 28%, cutter 17%, splitter 15%, curveball 5%, and then sinker 0.6%. I think the sinker is not going to continue throwing, but like the cutter, as mentioned last time, it's been a great weapon for him. I'm going to look at it. Let's look at it on Tuesday, but I believe he got some productive results on it as well. On Tuesday, let's go to player breakdown. On Tuesday, he threw 22 cutters, second most of any pitch he threw, more than the slider. And he got 9 swings on it, 3 whiffs, 33% whiff rate, and then two called strikes. So, 5 called strikes plus 23% CSW, 22%. Threw 4 curveballs as well. That's kind of funny because he's. I don't really think he has a whole lot of trust in the curveball right now. But yeah, okay. I'll talk about Bryce Miller's start yesterday. I'll be honest, it was rough. Let me get into the line. Mariners lost 5-1 yesterday. Bryce Miller threw 32 fouls, 21 splitters, 17 sinkers, 10 sliders, 3 sweepers. Not a lot of grills, got 12 swings, only 3 whiffs, and then it was put in play. Average exit velocity 101 on the splitter. Only put in play, I think, 6 times. No, 5 times it says. No, twice in play. Okay, so it doesn't really matter that much, actually. But had an average exit velocity of 101. Fastball, I'm sorry, it was put in play 5 times. Next. Next I'll just talk about... So, anyway, Miller struggled, though, kind of labored through. It looked like he was going to maybe keep it together, like keep the damage to one that kind of put the game away, but it looked like he was going to be able to get through 5 or 6 with just the 2 runs given up. Mariners only scored 1 yesterday, though. That's kind of like unacceptable. There's no way that they're going to win. But yeah, next, Let's talk about Gabe Spire, just because I talked about him earlier. He got huge 4 outs for the Mariners today, but oh man, Savon Page. Okay, I'm just gonna. Okay, xERA 2.2, 92nd percentile. Expected batting average 1.77, 92nd percentile. Fastball velo 39th percentile. Average exit velocity 27th percentile. 0.4, 96th percentile in chase percentage 3.1. Percent. Holy, 76th percentile in walk percentage, only 6.1. 9th percentile in barrel percentage, that's not great. 54th percentile in hard hit. 10th percentile in ground ball, and then although I don't really care that much about ground ball percentage, honestly, at all, especially as like a percentile, unless you're an extreme outlier, which is not that extreme of an outlier. And then 4th percentile in extension. But yeah, he's just been 8th percentile in xWOBA. Well, that's xERA. 7th percentile in WOBA. Let me see what else. Run value. Four seamer at 1, slider at 2, changeup at 0. How many? He's only thrown 2 changeups or 3. Okay. So yeah, run value results kind of back it up as well. Let me go to Logan Gilbert though. Let me see his run value. I'm curious about Gilbert's run value actually on the cutter. Oh wow, the cutter's already at positive 2 right now, at 2.6 per 100 second. Weapon by value too. Let me see. 27% whiff percentage. Okay, I was going to say wow, but 39.4 whiff percentage on his slider is insane too. 56% whiff percentage on the splitter. That'll work. 7.78 xWOBA on the splitter as well. Now, I am curious because the slider has a 433 slug against it, but a 605 X slug. I feel like there's a chance for regression there, particularly like on the slider. I don't know. That's overperforming the expected batting average and expected slugging against as well, but I'm more nervous about the slider because the gap is like a lot bigger. 379 xWOBA though against the slider was like the worst in his arsenal. Let me see. It's interesting though because the slider, last year the slider was positive 15 run value. Four seamer was 0, and then in 2022 his fastball was plus 12 run value, and then in 2021 his fastball was plus 19 run value. So he's kind of completely revamped as a pitcher, although it's looking like by run value multiple of those pitches are good. Hopefully it keeps up though. Let me go back to this. Okay. Next I'm going to talk about the offense for a while. So I have these. Let me get these offensive stats really quick. A few weeks ago, I talked about the team chase percentage and some stats like that. So I want to get into that again and kind of get another update. It's not updated as for today, I don't believe, unfortunately, but it's fine. Let's go to pitch. Okay, perfect. So, percentage, chase percentage. The chase percentage 29.1%. That's really big. New York is first, 26.7. Milwaukee in second at 26.8. Toronto 28.2. Los Angeles at 28.5, and then Mariners at 29.1. That is excellent. Okay, swing percentage. The Mariners are currently have the 7th lowest swing percentage as well. So it seems kind of certain they're being more selective. If we go to the O contact percentage, O contact percentage, they have the 7th lowest, which is not great. But Z contact percentage, okay, they actually like the 7th lowest zone contact percentage as well. That's not great. Let's see, first strike percentage against, which this is also kind of it's kind of a pitcher stat. I feel like it more depends on the pitching. They're 19th. Okay, but let's see about swing strike percentage. 8th highest, unfortunately. Okay, called strike percentage. 18th. Okay, that's better. 18th in called strike percentage. Yeah, okay. If you look at a team like Atlanta, though, 12.7% in swing strike percentage. What were the Mariners at again? The Braves are at Atlanta is at 12.9 in called strikes. So it's okay to be swinging, but just like can't be giving up a lot of called strikes. And luckily, the Mariners are not giving up a whole lot of called strikes. Called strike plus whiff percentage. Let's see, Mariners are 11th. Okay, that's not great. I believe a few weeks ago they were like bottom 5 in the stat though, so it's something. Next, so let me just talk about some individual performers. Really, Josh Rojas just continues to just like that dude. I'm just been so pleased with like everything he's doing. The other day he had 3 hard hit balls. He had 3 balls over 97 miles per hour. Yesterday he had an extra hit. Because yeah, this dude, he's like I think he'll be 153 WRC plus on the year. Like man, that is just awesome. Like 3.77 WOBA, 3.54 X WOBA 2. That's like arguably the most exciting thing about it. I do not think he's going to continue to be a 153 WRC plus bat, but Josh Rojas legitimately maybe being like a 120 WRC plus bat now, I think could be possible because that's he was a 110 WRC plus bat in 2022. He was injured a lot last year. Like I think he may have legitimately taken that step forward. Walking at 10 of the time, that's back in line with like 2021, 2022. It was at 5%, 4.9 last year, or 2022. In Arizona, he was at 19.2%. So striking out like at a career low percentage as well. It just feels like he's really, really like. I believe that he is an established like major league quality hitter. 381 BABIP, obviously that's going to go down, but 315 average, 383 on base, 463 slug, for a 846 OPS. Yeah, 10 weighted runs created, 153 WRC plus, 0.5 F WAR. Now let me go to the Josh Rojas. 4th percentile in expected batting average, 76th percentile in expected slug, 25th percentile in average X velocity. Don't really care about that much though. 51st percentile in barrel percentage, 42nd in hard hit percentage, 98th percentile in sweet spot percentage, 83rd percentile in chase rate, 72nd percentile in whiff rate, and 69th percentile in K percentage. So he's kind of hitting the ball like harder. And, the K, the chase, the whiff percentage, the plate discipline stats are great. 61st percentile in walk percentage as well. He's walking 10% of the time. Speed, only 41st percentile, only 3rd percentile in O and OA, but he's looked great at third and still a topic of discussion. For a lot of people over the offseason, they've looked largely completely competent at third. So both of those guys. So credit to them. Arias had a couple good places there as well today. But yeah, I'm so pleased with Rojas. Let's go to Arias too. And then I'll get to Julio because he is important in this whole equation, arguably the most important. Luis Rios, there we go. Rios now at a 136 WRC plus in the season. Okay, only 33 plate appearances, 5 hits, 3 double, 2 home runs. So only extra hits. Walking 1% of the time, 3 to Woba, 136 WRC plus. That's just kind of hilarious. He's like Rangers Joey Gallo, kind of like ultimate 3 true outcome: strikeout, walk, or home run. Or in this case, extra base hit. His case, I guess, extra base hit. That's kind of how Eugenio Suarez was a few years ago in 2022. It seemed like a lot of his hits were either doubles or home runs or strikeouts or walks. So like 4 true outcome. I guess 3 true outcome in that extra base hit, double or walk. Next, though, I want to talk about Julio. So since unfortunately the date of the 14th, Julio, in the game after, he went 1 for 5 with what is it? Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so in the game after, he went 1 for 5 with or 1 for 4 with a walk. He had a 114 WRC plus that game. Next game after, he went 2 for 5 with he had a 141 WRC plus. Game after, he went 2 for 5 with a 249 WRC plus. Game after that went 4 for 5 with 2 days, by the way, of course. And then on 421, he went 2 for 5 with for 141 WRC plus. On 421 again, the second game of the doubleheader, he went 2 for 4 for a 205 WRC plus. And then on 423, he went 1 for 4 with his first home run of the season. And walked as well. So actually 1 for 3 with a walk. He had a 381 WRC plus that game. And then yesterday was his first time going hitless. And he had a negative 100 WRC plus yesterday. Not great, but guess what? Today a multi-hit game again. So getting back to that point, basically since out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So out of 9 games, he has 6 multi-hit. He's has got to be, well, let me just see. Since the 14th, 192 WRC plus. It's probably closer to 200, maybe, because his WRC plus today was 205. Yeah, so probably up to like 200 WRC plus like over the last 10 games. And it's no coincidence that the Mariners have been playing well. When Julio gets 2 hits, the Mariners very frequently are going to win. So that's exciting. Overall season numbers now, only at a 4.8 walk percentage and 32.7 strikeout, which that's not great. A 97 plus in the season, that's not great either. 297 WOBA, 306 x WOBA. Actually, that's not updated with today's numbers, though. 0.6 F4 now as well. 6 stolen bases, 1 home run, 9 runs batted in, or 10 runs batted in, 9 runs. What else? Well, I kind of wanted to mention that, but never mind. I don't think it's because it's not updated. A stat other time. I'll mention this stat another time, but I find an updated leaderboard for today. So JP, unfortunate injury. We talked about that. The replacement is obviously going to be Leo Rivas. Leo Rivas. Bullpen overall, I believe, only gave up like 2 earned runs on that entire road trip, which is just insane, or 3 earned runs. So they've been really, really good. Let's look at Saucedo. I'm going to talk about Taylor Saucedo, and then that's going to wrap it up for today's episode. But yeah, let's just talk about the Sauce Boss. because he also, Saucedo, 94th percentile in xERA, 1.6, expected batting 93rd percentile, 1.77, 3rd percentile in fastball velocity. Who cares? Percentile, or average exit velocity of 83.3, 96 percentile, 86 percentile in chase percentage. That's great. 39 percentile in whiff percentage. It's not great, but 76 percentile in K percentage at 27.8, identical to Gilbert. That's good. 29th percentile walk percentage at 11.11. That's not great, but has yet to give up a barrel at 0.0%. Somehow there's 91 percentile. Maybe that's because only like 91 out of 100 pitchers they selected have actually given up a barrel so far this season. I'm not exactly sure how that works. 87th percentile in hard hit percentage, 28.6 hard hit rate. Ground percentage, 95th percentile. Okay, that's kind of an outlier, which I might care about. So throwing sinker, 47% of the time, slider 25% of the time, and then changeup 20% of the time. Only throwing the four seamer a few times and the curveball a few times. So just majority like sinker, slider, changeup, which is how he was last year. But yeah, still good. 97th percentile in xwOBA con. That's xwOBA on contact. But yeah, that is about it for today's episode. Let me make sure. Okay, that's about it. So thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you all have a great afternoon, a great evening. NFL draft. I think the Seahawks have already picked. I don't even know yet, but yeah, thank you all so much for watching. And yeah, peace. Go Mariners.